Sir tries toxic waste.
So far, I've tried in vain to get hold of one of those brain liquors. Kids keep telling me about them. Oh, they're wonderful, sir. So I've tried in vain to get hold of one. Each time I've gone to Home Bargains, they've been completely sold out. They must be the hottest ticket in town. If I had any sense, I'd put buy some shares in brain liquors, if there's such a thing, and I'd be minted. But in the meantime, another kid said, you should try one of these. It's called Toxic Waste. The psychology of selling sweets to kids is just ridiculous. If you know kids, all you do is you take something and give it the vilest, most obnoxious, most ridiculous, most puke-worthy name possible, and they just go crazy for it. The crazier, the more ridiculous a name, the more they'll run to it. Brain liquor. I mean, doesn't exactly sound tasty, does it? This sweet here, Toxic Waste. All the kids raving about it. Oh, so you got to try Toxic Waste. It's delicious. It's amazing. Can you try Toxic Waste? So one of the kids today gave me a Toxic Waste. Toxic Waste. That's the name of the sweet, Toxic Waste. It even has a warning on the back. It says, caution, consuming more than one within a brief time may cause irritation to mouth. Sensitive individuals should not consume this product. This food product even comes with a health risk warning on the back. Come on, that's ridiculous. Nevertheless, here we are, and I like to experiment. So they give me one. I said I'll try it. Let's see what it's about. So open it up. It's a relatively innocuous looking sweet. Not particularly. I would have thought they would have made it bright green or oozing with goo, but no, it looks fairly normal, unassuming. So I'll give it a try and see what it's like. So this is Toxic Waste. Here we go. Sir trying Toxic Waste. It sounds crazy even to say it. I'm going to try some Toxic Waste. Anyway, here we go. Oh. Yeah. This is disgusting. Now, I don't know. They're excessively sour. Not really sweet at all. Just sour. I can't understand how kids could like these. I don't know. They don't eat vegetables. They don't like broccoli. Ooh, it's disgusting. But they'll eat this. This tastes like concentrated lemon. Now, I don't know if I persevere, if it'll become sweet again. So I'll try another try. The first one was unbearably sour. Let's try again. Nope. That's not getting any better. Actually, just when I took it out of my mouth the second time, I think that I broke the back of some of the sourness and a little trace. A little trace of sweetness started to dribble through. So I'm going to persevere because I'm hardcore. Now I'll see if beyond the super sour, tastes like concentrated lemon juice. I'm just going to try and see if beyond that, if you persevere, if you go beyond the sour taste, it actually reveals some sweetness and something other than extreme toxicity. Here we go. Oh, okay. So if you persevere past the excessively sour beginning taste, which takes about 30 seconds to a minute. Now most people, you try it and you think, this is disgusting, spit it out. If you persevere, the excessive sourness goes away, and I do believe I'm detecting some traces of watermelon. Let me just look at the packet to confirm that is something. Yes, so beyond the excessive lemon taste, once you get past the sourness, the actual taste of this is meant to be watermelon, and much to my surprise, that watermelon flavour is actually coming through. So once you persevere, it's an amazing psychology behind sweets like this. One, there's an element, especially with kids, teenagers, there's a challenge of can you stand it? So it's almost like with adults, you taste it, if this is disgusting, spit it out. With kids, it's almost like, oh, can you stand it? Can you take it? So that's a psychology which kind of gets you involved. Almost competitive sweet eating, which is ridiculous. I didn't know it was a thing, but maybe it is. So the challenge is, can you survive the sourness, the revoltingness, the natural compulsion to spit this out your mouth. And if you do manage to survive that, you're rewarded with with what is actually quite a pleasant flavour, a subtle trace of watermelon. It's not excessively sweet either. It's kind of like, imagine a sweet with half the sugar, and so it's a half a sugar sweet, but after the extreme sourness, the half sugar actually tastes sweet, and then you're rewarded with the subtle flavour of watermelon coming through. So it's an interesting idea and psychology behind sweets like this. One, give it a name, which in and of itself is terrifying, but also to a kid is just a straight up challenge. Can you eat something called toxic waste that even has a health warning on the back of it? You eat it and you're thinking, now typically speaking, if I was not doing this, I would have just spat that sweet straight out because it tasted disgusting. Hyper sour. But the second time I took it out of my mouth, which was a natural reaction because it's so disgusting, a little trace of sweetness came through, which made me think, maybe it's worth persevering. I never saw sweets as something that would teach you a life lesson about persevering. But that's what you get out of this sweet. Never give up. Bit odd, but never give up. Now, I don't really like connecting that kind of philosophy with the sweet, but I think you get the point. So, toxic waste, once you get past the challenge of the sourness, it actually becomes quite a pleasant, subtle taste. Marks out of 10. Well, I'm not a kid, so I don't like having such a massive challenge with my food. The most challenging food I like to eat is a Brussels sprout. So I'm not really keen on the challenge, but the surprise of getting past the sourness to the actual flavour and the sweetness, you feel like you've almost achieved something in a weird kind of way. So it's almost like a psychological thing. I've persevered past the sourness, I've gone through the hardship, and now I'm rewarded with the sweetness. So I think because I like the psychology of it, and because of how it can parallel life, getting past the difficulty of life and persevering through to the good days that are going to come ahead, I think for that kind of dual meaning, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10.